The relationship between Israel and Iran is fraught with tension and mistrust, a legacy of historical events and ideological clashes. Before the 1979 Iranian Revolution, the two nations maintained relatively cordial ties. Iran, under the Shah, found a strategic partner in Israel, particularly in intelligence sharing and military cooperation. However, the revolution dramatically altered the geopolitical landscape. Ayatollah Khomeini's ascent to power ushered in an Islamic republic vehemently opposed to Israel's existence. Khomeini's revolutionary ideology viewed Israel as an illegitimate entity, a Western implant in the Muslim world. This fundamental disagreement laid the groundwork for decades of animosity and conflict. The hostage crisis at the U.S. Embassy in Tehran further exacerbated tensions. The crisis, fueled by anti-American sentiment, solidified the image of Iran as a hostile actor in the eyes of Israel and the West. The stage was set for a prolonged period of mistrust and confrontation. The overthrow of the Shah marked a turning point. Iran's new Islamic Republic, under Ayatollah Khomeini, viewed Israel as an illegitimate entity, a Western implant in the Muslim world. This fundamental disagreement laid the groundwork for decades of animosity and conflict. At the heart of the Israel-Iran conflict lies a fundamental clash of ideologies. This clash is not just a recent development but has deep historical roots that have shaped the geopolitical landscape of the Middle East for decades. Israel, a Jewish state established in 1948, views itself as a haven for Jews worldwide, a guarantee against future persecution. The trauma of the Holocaust and centuries of anti-Semitism have ingrained in Israel a sense of vulnerability and a need for a secure homeland. Iran, under its Islamic Republic system, sees itself as a champion of Palestinian rights and a bulwark against Western imperialism in the Middle East. The 1979 Islamic Revolution transformed Iran's political landscape, positioning it as a staunch opponent of Western influence and a vocal supporter of Palestinian self-determination. These diametrically opposed viewpoints have fueled decades of mistrust and hostility. The ideological divide is not merely political but also deeply cultural and religious, making reconciliation a complex and challenging endeavor. Israel views Iran's nuclear ambitions as an existential threat, fearing a potential nuclear-armed Iran could seek its annihilation. The prospect of Iran acquiring nuclear weapons has led Israel to adopt a policy of preemptive strikes and stringent security measures. Iran, on the other hand, perceives Israel's military dominance and nuclear arsenal as a threat to its own security and the stability of the region. Iran's leadership argues that its nuclear program is for peaceful purposes, yet the lack of trust makes this claim highly contentious. This deep-seated mistrust is further compounded by the rhetoric employed by both sides. Leaders from both nations often use inflammatory language to rally domestic support, which only serves to deepen the animosity. Hardline elements within both governments frequently engage in inflammatory language, accusing the other of seeking their destruction. This kind of rhetoric not only inflames public opinion, but also makes diplomatic efforts more difficult. This rhetoric, often amplified by media outlets, serves to reinforce existing prejudices and hinder any prospects for reconciliation. Media plays a crucial role in shaping public perception, and sensationalist coverage can exacerbate tensions. The absence of formal diplomatic relations between the two countries exacerbates these challenges. Without official channels for dialogue, misunderstandings and misinterpretations are more likely to occur, increasing the risk of conflict. Without direct channels of communication, misunderstandings fester, and the potential for miscalculation increases. Diplomatic isolation means that even minor incidents can escalate quickly as there are no established mechanisms for de-escalation. This lack of dialogue creates a dangerous vacuum, leaving the door open for misinterpretations and escalatory actions. In such an environment, the smallest spark can ignite a larger conflict, making the need for open communication and diplomatic engagement more critical than ever. The stakes are high and the consequences of failure are too great to ignore. The shadow of proliferation continues to loom, but with concerted effort and international cooperation, a peaceful resolution may still be within reach. The Israel-Iran conflict extends beyond the direct interactions between the two nations, playing out in a complex web of proxy conflicts across the Middle East. These proxy wars are not just isolated incidents but are part of a larger strategy employed by both nations to exert influence and control in the region. Syria and Lebanon have become particularly volatile arenas for this indirect confrontation. The instability in these countries provides fertile ground for external powers to intervene and pursue their geopolitical interests. In Syria, Iran has provided crucial military and financial support to the Assad regime throughout the country's devastating civil war. This support has been instrumental in helping Assad maintain power despite significant opposition. Israel, viewing Iran's growing influence in Syria as a direct threat to its security, has conducted numerous airstrikes targeting Iranian-linked facilities and personnel within Syria. These airstrikes are aimed at curbing Iran's military foothold and preventing the transfer of advanced weaponry to Hezbollah. The frequency and intensity of these airstrikes underscore the high stakes involved and the lengths to which Israel is willing to go to protect its national security. Lebanon has also become a focal point of tension. The country's political and military landscape is heavily influenced by Hezbollah, which receives substantial support from Iran. Iran's support for Hezbollah, a powerful Shiite militant group and political party in Lebanon, has significantly bolstered its capabilities. This support includes financial aid, military training, and advanced weaponry. As a result, Hezbollah has grown into a formidable force, capable of challenging Israel and exerting considerable influence within Lebanon. Hezbollah, which fought a month-long war with Israel in 2006, has since expanded its military capabilities. The 2006 conflict demonstrated Hezbollah's ability to launch sustained attacks against Israel, causing significant damage and casualties. Today, Hezbollah possesses a vast arsenal of rockets and missiles capable of striking deep within Israeli territory. This arsenal serves as a powerful deterrent and a constant threat to Israel's security. This network of alliances and proxies allows Iran to project power and influence across the region while avoiding direct confrontation with Israel. By supporting groups like Hezbollah, Iran can challenge Israel indirectly and maintain plausible deniability. However, this approach also carries significant risks. The indirect nature of these confrontations means that they can easily spiral out of control, leading to unintended consequences. The potential for miscalculations or escalations by either side is ever present, and such incidents could spark a wider conflict. The region's complex web of alliances and enmities adds to the volatility. As tensions escalate, the risk of a broader conflict increases. Both Israel and Iran must navigate this precarious situation carefully to avoid triggering a larger war. The volatile nature of these proxy battlegrounds underscores the fragility of the situation and the potential for rapid deterioration. Peace agreements and ceasefires are often tenuous and can be easily disrupted. The international community must remain vigilant and proactive in seeking diplomatic solutions to prevent further escalation. The stakes are high, and the consequences of failure could be catastrophic for the entire region.